silent, without warning. The African river opens up in the first light of dawn, mist rising like a living veil. Just a pair of eyes, a pair of ears, and a massive nose breaking the surface, enough to signal the presence of a creature the entire region treats with caution. The hippo, silent, enormous, and utterly unpredictable. When humans and these river giants share the same waters, the line between safety and danger can disappear in seconds. Today's journey begins alongside the Riverside Farm Protection Team. The people on the front line, facing hippos that destroy cornfields, threaten fishermen, and can flip a small boat with a single sudden surge from below. This isn't just a story of survival, it's a mission to protect the livelihood of an entire community. Join us, subscribe to Famigo Farm, and step into the journey of confronting one of Africa's most dangerous animals. Beneath that calm, glassy surface, an entirely different world is moving. The early morning river is so still, it borders on unnatural. Tiny ripples spread from the shoreline and vanish instantly, as if something massive has just glided past under the murky brown water. For the people who live along the river, that sign is unmistakable. A bull hippo moving silently along the bottom, unpredictable and on the move. A deep, forceful exhale breaks the quiet, short, heavy, and gone in a heartbeat. The animal is heading straight toward the boat landing, where fishermen dock every morning. If it surfaces at the wrong moment, a small boat could be thrown into danger before anyone has time to react. The reeds along the bank tremble, not from the wind, but from a multi-ton body sliding just beneath them. No one can see it, but everything on the surface gives it away. The water pushing upward, air bubbles rising and bursting, and a line of ripples driven straight toward shore. We move into position immediately, maintaining absolute silence. Every sense is locked onto the water ahead, where a faint bulge is forming rhythmically, marking the creature's path. If it gets past this point, the neighborhood behind us will lie directly in its dangerous trajectory. The marksman raises his rifle, sight steady on the patch of water about to surge upward. No one knows the exact second the hippo will break the surface, but everyone understands. The next few moments will determine the safety of countless people living along this river. Another heavy exhale erupts. The water suddenly lifts in a long, rising line. A flash from the bank, our signal that we acted at the safest possible moment, just before the animal reached the populated area. One timely decision to protect an entire riverside community. To understand why a single moment can determine the safety of an entire community, we have to look deeper into the nature of this river giant. Hippos aren't predators, yet they are the animals every riverbank in Africa treats with caution. Beneath their thick skin and slow, lumbering movements lies explosive power and an unpredictable territorial instinct. And once they step onto land, their reactions only grow more intense. On quiet mornings, if a rhinoceros wanders too close to the mudbank a hippo is guarding, the entire riverfront tightens like a pulled bowstring. The keeper of the river surges out of the water, jaws spread wide, tusks exposed, staring down the intruder. The rhino lowers its head, its feet grinding into the ground. There's no collision, but anyone watching the standoff between these two giants understands instantly, this is no place for hesitation. In moments like that, their aggression becomes a warning in itself. Even among their own kind, tension is constant. Adult males often square off on the riverbank where mud and grass blend together. They turn sideways, drag their feet, and open their mouths wide to assert dominance. These displays rarely erupt into fights, but they are enough to scatter the herd and push every nearby animal to keep its distance. And instability on the riverbank always ripples far beyond the herd. When the dry season arrives, these multi-ton animals leave the water at night in search of food. They cut straight through cornfields, crushing young crops, and carving deep paths across farmland. Riverbanks collapse, irrigation channels break, and those heavy, forceful exhalations in the dead of night keep families wide awake. When the forces of nature push directly into human life, the boundaries of safety don't hold. For families who depend on the river, the presence of a bull hippo near their fields is a clear warning. The boat landing, the footpaths, and even the livestock areas can all become danger zones. No one wants confrontation, but neither can they allow the threat to grow night after night. In situations like this, control isn't a choice, it's a responsibility. Protecting the people, safeguarding the crops, and maintaining balance along the river is why these hippo control missions must be carried out carefully, correctly, and at the right moment. The animal acts on instinct. Humans act to preserve the lives around them. Because when a community's safety is at risk, what truly matters is how we defend the peace we have. Peace doesn't appear on its own. It exists because of timely, responsible decisions.
Out of the pod, and he's no longer...
The angle of the animal would determine it. A lot of that in the water, you would shoot him in that triangle. The head movement will determine it, where the shot placement is going to be. You've got to always just visualize where the brain is going to be. The big territorial bulls keep their spots, and everything else gets pushed out.
And gave me the perfect opportunity.
Just tell me when.
Right now.
All right, man, we got the hippo. That's working on to get him out of there.
And when those instincts collide with the peak of the dry season, everything becomes even more unpredictable. The dry season is always the most tense time in Africa's river regions. As water levels drop day by day, mud flats emerge, and food along the riverbank thins out. The swamp's giants begin moving farther inland in search of fresh grass. That's also when conflicts with humans reach their highest point. From June to October, the pressure is at its peak for every control operation. The river narrows, and the boundary between feeding grounds and farmland nearly disappears. Night after night, the animals leave behind trails as wide as truck paths, cutting straight through cornfields and grazing areas. Control efforts are therefore concentrated along the lower river hotspots, where people live right next to the water every day. Botswana, with the vast Okavango wetlands. Zambia, along the well-traveled wildlife corridors of the Luangwa River. Namibia, where the Kunene and Kavango riverbanks have become routine passageways. And Kenya, around large lakes like Naivasha, all of them regions that record the highest number of conflicts each year. In these places, we work from before sunrise until full darkness. Knowing the exact timing and movement routes helps the team identify which communities need protection first. Every region has its own rhythm. Every herd follows specific paths. And only those who stay with the area, season after season, understand the full scale of the danger. In the harsh heat of the dry season, when the ground cracks underfoot and the riverbanks shrink to narrow strips of mud, that's when humans must stand on the front line, protecting the communities whose lives depend on this water. In that setting, every step of the approach has to be precise, and the riverbank grasslands open the path that brings us closer to the water than ever before. The early morning wind sweeps through the riverside fields, making the dry stalks sway in soft, golden waves. The first light of day barely touches the tops of the reeds, washing the whole area in a pale, hazy gold. The team stops at the edge of the thicket, trading quick words about wind direction and the spot where the animal usually appears each morning. No one speaks more than necessary, only short, clipped instructions, enough for everyone to understand that silence is mandatory. Deep tracks pressed into the dry mud show it left the river early in the night. Along the field's edge, a strip of grass lies flattened, still holding a faint trace of warmth when the guide bends down to check it. The marksman leans in to study each print, determining direction, while the trackers spread out in a fan formation to minimize any chance of making noise. The closer we get, the stronger the smell of damp mud and river air becomes. The atmosphere grows heavier, signaling rising humidity from the water. The ground softens under our feet, even giving way a little. a sign that the river's edge is only a few dozen steps ahead. A cluster of reeds suddenly rustles, not from the wind, and the whole team freezes, holding their breath for several seconds before moving again. Instead of pushing straight forward, we drop down toward a lower stretch of ground where the bank curves inward, creating a natural blind, concealed yet safe from exposure. As we reach the waterline, everyone lowers their bodies immediately. The morning river is ice cold, rising to our shins, and the surface is so still that even a single misstep could ruin the entire operation. Those advancing through the water move as slowly as humanly possible, testing each patch of mud with their feet, keeping their rifles lifted to avoid any unnecessary disturbance. Breathing grows heavier, not from exhaustion, but from the awareness that the distance between us and the animal is shrinking fast. A heavy exhale erupts ahead, short, deep, and swallowed right after, like a massive valve venting beneath the earth. Seconds later, the water bulges gently, spreading out into faint rings, signaling that the target is moving directly beneath the murky surface. The team slides down behind a tall patch of reeds, leaving only a narrow opening just wide enough for the marksman to observe. Not a single word is spoken. All that remains is the faint trickle of water and the tight, controlled breathing of those trying to keep every movement silent. Beneath the brown, opaque water, the giant glides like a shadow without form. Each time it changes direction, the surface responds, rising, settling, marking its position just meters away. And with just one step out of rhythm, it could surface right in front of us.
Okay, reload, Chris, come forward. Come forward over here. You left, hit him again. Hold that.
He playing ball, isn't he?
Hold on, Chris.
The bank was too high for him to come up, but he just came up, you know, doing the classic big mouth open.
To stay safe in close-range situations, all equipment must be fully reliable and used in strict compliance with local regulations. The bolt-action rifle is the team's primary choice thanks to its simple, durable mechanism in muddy environments. Paired with Federal premium ammunition in .375, H&H Magnum and above, it maintains stable trajectory at very short distances. For special missions, shooters use a Beretta double rifle for 2 extremely quick follow-up shots when a target approaches too close. Optics are kept minimal, prioritizing a wide field of view in dense, uneven terrain. Binoculars support long-range observation, revealing small surface movements and helping plan safe approaches. All equipment is used only in authorized areas, at the proper time, and under the supervision of those who understand local law. The rifle provides stability, the optic provides accuracy, and the binoculars provide safe visibility, all toward the shared goal of protecting people and maintaining balance in this land.
Now.
After all the preparation and encounters, what remains is the story of humans amidst the wild. The sun rises over the African wetlands, illuminating reeds still wet with morning dew, and deep tracks in the mud remind us that life here balances between peace and danger. Wild animals act on instinct. Humans act to protect family, crops, and the communities relying on the river. In the vast wilderness, there are no simple battles, only the balance each generation must strive to maintain. Today, we do what must be done. Tomorrow, the river continues its natural rhythm. Peace here comes from responsibility, timely choices, and those willing to stand on the front lines. Subscribe to Famigo Farm to follow journeys that protect people and preserve the natural balance.